Hey everyone, this is Suhana Bhattacharya, and you're listening to the Goodfirms Leaders Roundtable podcast. Entrepreneurship is a long road, and it usually consists of many pitfalls. To help all the new business owners make the right decision, I sit down with the top CEOs of IT company and discuss everything about trends, technology, leadership, and more. Now, starting an IT company when a pandemic is at its peak is no joke for sure. But our guest founded Zaag Systems in September 2020 and since then has been providing a range of services to customers worldwide. A very warm welcome to Bahauddin Arafat, the Managing Director of Zaag Systems. He develops and executes business plans, providing strategic advice, and comes up with cost effective development activities. So, thank you so much, Bahauddin, for joining us today. Anything that you'd like to add to the introduction, something that I might have missed?
Thank you for having me, Johanna. As we have already given me introduction about that, being as the managing director of the Zaag Systems Limited. So yeah, if we will consider Zaag Systems being new in this industry, but still we have developed and make a strategic decision in the middle of the pandemic, and so that we can add some value to the industry, not only in the industry but also to the community.
So, thank you so much for taking that decision in the middle of a pandemic because it sure is not easy. And all know that it would be a lie if we said that we did not rely on some app or the other for either food or grocery deliveries at our home. The
Yes.
pandemic was already a big reason that gave a huge push to this entire food and grocery related delivery softwares or applications, and it has opened doors to many such opportunities. But it has been close to 2 years now since the pandemic, and we are ahead of it now. But that hasn't really diminished our demand, our need for food or grocery delivery software for apps like these. So, can you pinpoint some reasons why people have continued to use these apps even when the pandemic has decreased?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Pandemic actually let us make lots of health related decision to take. So considering that thing, people are much more health cautious, and due to that, it actually continued in the behavioral aspect. So if I consider, there are lots of points. Among them is change in the consumer behavior, because it's a longer period, which is around 2 years. People are locked down in their home. So people are getting accustomed of those behavior. So continuing to that behavior, they keep that pattern into themselves. Another one is obviously automation and digitization, where the grocery app assists to manage business processes with limited staff and without affecting the customer services. So it's already here and there. Within this span of time, you can find lots of food and grocery app, which is actually simplifies the delivery process and brings automation at every stage, which is getting appreciated by the customers over the period. And also there is a part among that is following social distancing and other norms, because as you know that while in the pandemic, from the government, from the WHO, they are always keep saying that in the social distancings and the norms. So this type of apps actually enables the users to follow social distancing norms, which is imposed by most countries, and prevent the spread of coronavirus.
So, these are some really great points that you've mentioned of why people have actually continued to use these apps. So, personally, I have continued to use food and grocery delivery software because it's just so convenient that I don't have to spend time picking out stuff. I can just do it in few clicks since the pandemic, and it has only increased. So we were digging into the history of ordering food online. So we found out that Worldwide Waiter was the first online food ordering service that started in 1995. Now there are numerous platforms in the market, and we know. What, in your view, are some of the changes that you have witnessed as customer expectations have changed and many businesses have evolved?
Waiter.com, they're the father of this kind of system, but still it's now 2023. So among this span, there are lots of things changes since then. It's a simpler user experiences, because as you know that there is no alternative of simplicity. So because of that, we need to make it easy to the customer to browse through what menu or what items they are looking for and place order that derives the appetite, and also the payments that delivered at the right time. Another one, you can consider faster processing, or from food making to delivery to customer doorstep requires a lots of work, but now customer want it faster, because whenever a people is hungry, they don't think about nothing but food. So that's why customer behavior is changed for faster processing. And recently we have seen that in the delivery people are like to give reviews. So a customer is now want to get acknowledged what they are looking to, and obviously in the industry, in the companies as well, they have to acknowledge that and they have to resolve those matter. So you can consider that customer is now getting more smarter and smarter nowadays.
Exactly. So, from your experience in developing food and grocery delivery systems, can you please let our new audience or the one who are already in the market know how the development process of these software differs from other applications? Because I'm sure there's a lot going on behind which the customer might not be thinking about. But as a development partner, you have to think about each and every individual person who will be connected to the app and make something for them. So, what is the development process?
If I will consider this food delivery, it's a vast system and it's also a complicated system. And there are lots of, you need to give notification every now and then to the towards the customer, towards the delivery man, towards the administrator. So within these I can add few of them, because there are, as I have mentioned, that there are lots. So on demand food ordering app, no push notification. Another one is providing contact information of the delivery person, reward or discount programs, cashback programs, loyalty programs. We have to include this one because as there are lots of competitors out there, so for grabbing the customer you need to incorporate these things. You have to give GPS tracking in real time, simple payment methods through cash, through mobile financial services, through debit or credit card, and obviously search filters. And you have to give it to them through integration of social media, because nowadays media is everywhere. Every people is using Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, I mean YouTube, and always everyone wants to share what they are eating, what give their reviews. So we have to integrate those things. And profile customers and registration, obviously order history, because sometimes you have a good experience to some restaurants, so you want to order it again, so we have to keep it there. And obviously communicate with the delivery person, so we have to keep the messaging communication things into the app. And obviously improve the status. Sometimes you have to mention it through time, that the delivery or the food is 15 minutes away, now it's 10 minutes away, now it's 5 minutes away. So ratings and reviews is we have to incorporate. And we have to give a easy learning curve to the users, because they want simplicity that I've mentioned in your previous questions.
That was a very good and a very long list of things to integrate. And for
Yeah.
companies looking to build their own food or grocery delivery application, can you please give an estimate for someone for these kind of applications? Because I think it's quite risky and expensive for startups to launch a full-fledged application at first, because these are too many features and the startup may not have such of a budget. And
Mhm.
there is where something called as minimum viable product, MVP, comes into play. So, what features it should include and how much it will actually cost?
For this kind of delivery app, I would suggest that you should come to the market with a MVP, because it's a huge system. But in this MVP, you must keep at least few features, which is user profile, dynamic list, interactive search, obviously order tracking options, group order, list of recommendations, and for acknowledgement, rating and reviews, convenient and secure payments, because it's a matter of business, and live chat and notification systems. So these are the major features. You have to include into the systems, and keeping these features you can make an MVP. For an MVP it took around 4 to 6 months for development from the scratch, and the total development cost in the range of $20,000 to $30,000. And for cross platform we can use Flutter. It's getting a quite a good hype in the, and also React Native for this cross platform development, and it would cost around $16,000 to $24,000 based on the requirement.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving such precise information for our audience, because people might be looking for developing food or grocery delivery application, and this might be the perfect time to develop as there's a huge demand in it. So
Yeah.
since the pandemic, not just pandemic, even the things that happened after it not only changed the way we shop, but also the way we perceive ourselves. We no longer allow ourselves to indulge in junk food, and we have tried to adopt a healthier lifestyle. And this has led to an increase in the demand for calorie tracking apps and software. So, as someone in the mobile app development, can you please let our audience know how actually applications calculate the calories of every food item we consume? What is the mechanism that runs behind these applications?
Currently people are more cautious about these health apps. Actually, the calculation of calorie taking is fairly simple as long as user is accurately weight and record the food. But most of the apps offer measurement of how many calories user burn when they do exercise. It can be seen that how fitness apps calculate calories burned. So users should take this calculation with a grain of salt. However, they often are not actually very accurate, but you have to know the measurement of, say for example, what is the measurement of one slice of bread, or what is the measurement of 100 gram piece of red meat. So you have to put those information over there. So all the apps actually giving those information, which is a complete of database.
That's a really good advice that you've given, that these calculations or calorie tracking must be taken with a pinch of salt. So, moving forward, we've discussed about the features that should be present and the development process that goes behind developing
Yes.
food and grocery system. So, while developing all of this, it is important to keep different experiences and scenarios in mind and develop accordingly. Different user interfaces, technologies. So, a lot of challenges also comes with it. So, can you please brief out some challenges that businesses face while handling such requirement from start to finish?
Yeah, there are lots of challenges. Customer is changing every now and then, so their preference is also changing. That's one of the major challenges what we are facing. And for grocery app, the market price is unstable. Say for 1 kilogram or 1 pound of meat, the price is today is say for example it's $5, and tomorrow it's $7. So always you have to keep track on the market, because as it's unstable. And obviously the quality of the food, because for perishable items sometimes it got rotten, so we have to consider that thing. And managing customer expectation, that is another point. And improper food handling, sometimes when you are delivering 1 dozens of egg, so without handling, 1 or 2 egg might break. So it's a very challenging thing. And obviously threat of bigger players, because big fish always want to eat out the little fish, so there is a threats in the industry. And obviously there are the logistics dilemma, because it would take, because environmental challenges are there. So these are the major challenges what we are always facing.
Right, and these challenges the user might not really think about, but the people who are making the software must consider this. Now, the demand for these kind of apps and softwares are not going to stop. So, in view of this, can you please mention how GoodFirms help Zaag Systems to emerge as the best mobile app development company for customers?
Yeah, since when I get incorporated with Good Farms, I would say they have give us a wide hike in digital presence. in the local market, because now many of the clients what we got for these sort of applications, we got this lead from Goodfirms. So what we are planning is that we want to grow more and want to grab the international market as well. Goodfirms is helping us a lot. I really appreciate their work and I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for these kind words for Good Firms. And we are sure that we'll be able to help you expand your presence in the international market as well. Thank you so much, Bahauddin, for sharing your insights. This market that we talked about is a massive field, and every IT company can surely listen to this, gain a lot of insight from this, and implement it in their business strategies.